His ulti.
Yep.
Oh! Pathfinders.
Spotted. Double timing it.
Hey, what's going on, Champ Squad? My name is Vinsanity if you guys are new, and welcome back to another Apex Legends video. So today, I'm coming back with an updated Super Glide guide on controller, where I'm going to provide all my best tips for getting the hang of this movement. I've gotten a lot better at this movement since my last movement guide. I'm now able to get it down almost every time. I'd say at least 75% of the time I can do the Super Glide correctly. So today I'm going to discuss the overall technique for getting this movement down, along with all my best tips. It is very possible to super glide on controller, it's just all about the timing, which I will cover in the tutorial. On the screen now, I'm going to put timestamps for what I'm going to discuss throughout this video, so if you want to skip to a certain part you can, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to discuss are certain button layout requirements that you need to perform this movement. So, to be able to super glide, you're going to have to be able to press jump and crouch together without taking your thumbs off of the sticks. So if you play on default controls, this isn't possible. I personally have paddles, so for me, pressing jump and crouch together is as simple as just pressing the two paddles together since they're mapped to jump and crouch. But if you don't play on paddles, you'll need to find a custom button layout that lets you press jump and crouch together without taking your thumbs off of the sticks. If you want to play something like Ninja button layout, which maps R1 to crouch and L1 to jump, so basically your bumpers to crouch and jump, this will nicely allow you to do what you need to do to super glide. Otherwise, I highly recommend a custom layout where you map jump to L1 and crouch to the right stick to R3. This will also let you press crouch and jump together, which is necessary. So having a button layout like this, where you can press jump and crouch together, or playing with paddles, is necessary to be able to super glide. You're going to need to be able to press these buttons together without taking your fingers off of these sticks. So something else that also makes super gliding a little bit easier in my opinion, but isn't required, is to play with crouch on hold instead of crouch on toggle. I highly recommend trying this. I think it will help improve your movement overall, along with making super gliding a little bit easier. So now to get into the actual technique for performing the super glide, it's actually pretty simple. All you need to do is climb a certain object, like this stack here in the firing range, and just as you're climbing, just as your feet hit the ground, right there, you want to press jump and crouch together. Just as the climbing animation finishes, right there, you want to press jump and crouch together, right there. So I'm not doing it here, I'm just showing you when you want to press it. Just as your feet hit the ground, you're going to want to press jump and crouch together. So when you press jump and crouch together, just as your climbing animation is finishing, you want to keep your left stick pushed forward. So again, you're going to climb up, keep your left stick pushed forward the whole time, and just as your climbing animation finishes, just at the top, press and hold jump and crouch together. The key to the movement by far is the timing. There's a very narrow window of responsiveness for you to get the timing down. If you press and hold jump and crouch not at the same time, or you press them too early or too late, you won't super glide. You'll end up just jumping or crouching depending on whether you're too early or too late. So I recommend practicing on these stacks here in the firing range. Climb just as you hit your top as the animation stops, press and hold crouch together. And when you're doing it correctly, it'll catapult you forward like this, or to the side if you're pointing the stick to the side. It's going to take some practice, you'll be able to get the timing down, but if you're not doing it, it's not because you can't do it on controller, it just means you need to practice more. It's a very narrow time window. So if you do perform this movement correctly, it's going to jolt you forward with a ton of speed that will allow you to catch your enemies off guard. A really good way to practice getting the timing down is to practice on all sorts of objects in the range, different height objects like you see here. You can do it on anything. It's a little bit harder, you need to get the timing down even more to do it correctly on these taller objects, but just as your feet hit the ground, right there, you want to press and hold, jump, and crouch together. You won't get it every time, but just as you hit the ground, press and hold, jump, and crouch together. So I would just practice in the firing range on all objects. You won't get it every time like you see here, but every once in a while you'll get it done correctly and you'll start to realize what the timing looks like. So that's what I recommend. Even in pubs when you're just rotating around on different objects, when you hit the top, press and hold, crouch, and jump together. So as you saw at the end there, you can do super glides on any height object. You can do them sideways even, and all you really got to change there is the direction you're pointing the left stick. So if you want to do a super glide to the side, you're going to do the same technique, press and hold, jump, and crouch together once the climbing finishes, and you'll just point your stick to the left or the right to do that super glide, the more advanced super glides to the side. On higher objects, you just need to be more patient with your timing. You need to make sure you press and hold them at the right time just as your feet hit the ground, just as you finish that climbing animation. And as you guys can see, a lot of these are in third person. I highly recommend going into third person in the firing range and practicing your super glides that way, because it'll be easier to see when your feet hit the ground and when you finish the climbing animation, and it'll help you get the timing down even when you go back to first person. So that's going to wrap it up for my guide for super gliding on controller. If you guys have any questions or even any recommendations on how to better perform super gliding controller, make sure to drop a comment below. If you're unable to perform the movement, just remember you don't have the timing down. It's not that you can't do this on controller. It's very doable on controller, as you saw from all these clips. I'm able to do it about 75% of the time. You've got to practice more. It's a very narrow time window for getting the movement down, and only in that narrow response window will it actually work correctly. So just keep practicing, follow the general technique, climb. As your climbing finishes, press and hold, jump, and crouch together, and you'll get the hang of it. Anyways, I have a 30 kill gameplay for you guys today. My squad popped off. We could have got the 10-10-10 badge. We did kill half the lobby, and I think you guys will enjoy it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
That was the last of that squad.
50 on a bloodhound. He just jumped on me. Oh my god, he got clipped. He got clipped. I need help. Bro, he really got clipped. Yeah, it's mine. Yeah, sorry. It's mine.
Confirm kill.
Killed an enemy.
Man, where's the guy you just knocked, Vex?
Reloading. That one's out for the count.
Down to target. That was the whole squad. No quarter given.
Only two other squads.
Got him. Another notch on the belt.
Down that one. Reloading.
They're chasing Patron down pretty hard. The Valk's weak.
I'm down. I got some bad guys here.
Give my shields a recharge.
I'm healing. You got light ammo? I'm actually really low.
Placing a portal.
Giving him the chimney.
Reviving here.
Hold on.
Repeat on last. Reloading.
This kid's one shot above you, Vex. He might jump down. Got him.
Down to target.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good game. What the hell?